Hi, so you are on our Mark 2 channel. So what we're going to look at in this video is question 5 of this worksheet under the topic numerical integration. Okay, so question 5 says, suppose that f of 0 is equals to 1, f of 0 0.5 is equals to 2.5, f of 1 is equals to 2, and f of 0 0.25 is equals to f of 0 0.75 is equals to alpha. Find alpha if the composite trapezoidal rule with n is equals to 4 gives the value 1.75 for the definite integral with lower limit 0 and the upper limit to be 1. Okay, we have our f of x dx there. So our goal is to find alpha here. Okay, so this question has given us everything that we need. Okay, so just a matter of understanding exactly how to go about it. So one thing I've been given is that um, our f of 0, okay, our f of 0 meaning the lower limit is equals to 1. Okay, then we also have f of 0 0.5, which is equals to 2.5. Okay, then we have our f of 1, which is our upper limit, is equals to 2. Then we have a part that tells us to say if you have f of 0.25 is the same as f of 0.75, and all these are going to give us alpha. Okay, so we have to find this alpha if when we use the composite trapezoidal rule, when n is equals to 4. Okay, like if we use the composite trapezoidal rule, we are going to get 1.75. Okay, we use that rule, we use that value of n, we are going to end up with that answer. Then what else are we given? We are given the function or the definite integral from 0 to 1 f of x dx. Okay, so the first thing that I'd want to do right now is just to write the formula for the composite trapezoidal rule, of which is just the definite integral. We have your a here, you have your a here, then your b, then you have your f of x dx. This is supposed to be equals to, or let me say it's an approximation here. I'll use these symbols here. Then I'll say h divided by 2. Then in these brackets we are going to have our f of a plus 2 multiplied by the summation of, first of all, we are starting from j is equals to 1 to n minus 1. Okay, then here we are going to have our f of xj, then plus f of b here. I'll close it like that. We have our error term here, but I don't really need to include it because we are not using it. Okay, so looking at this formula that we have here, okay, so if you observe, we already have our value of n. Okay, then we can find our value of h from our value of n. So how we find our value of h is that we are going to say our h is equals to b minus a divided by n. What is our b in this case? Our b is a 1. Okay, then our a is a 0, so divide by n, our n is a 4, so we get h to be equals to 1 over 4. Okay, so that's our h right there. So what else are we able to notice here? So if I was to substitute here where there's n, I plug in what my n is, and my n is equals to 4, so that would be like 4 minus 1, that is going to be a 3. Okay, so that's going to be a 3 there, like that. Okay, so for this part here and this part, we're already given like a straightforward. What I mean by it being straightforward is the fact that our a is equals to 0. That's our lower limit. Then our b is equals to 1. So that part we're already given. We don't really need to worry about it. What about the summation part? Okay, like this middle part here. If you observe, we have our xj. What is xj? So xj, or x sub j, is equals to a plus jh, like that. That's what our x sub j is equals to. But remember, our a is equals to 0, so this can be written as we have a 0 plus your j, you leave it the way it is, then your h is 1 over 4, so that's just going to be j over 4. So one thing we observe is that we are saying this is going to be x sub j will be equals to j over 4. That's exactly what we are going to plug in there, and I guess I can substitute it just here, so that to save some time and some space. So instead of uh, f of xj, I'll put f of j over 4, like that. Okay, so now since I've already said we already have this part and we already have this part as already given, we have f of 1, which is our upper limit, that is f of b, then f of 0, that's f of a, which is equals to 1, already given. So now let's just deal with this part here. So I'm just going to write it down here, so that would be like 2 multiplied by the summation of um, f of j over 4, okay, from j is equals to 1 to 3. So the way this is going to be is that I'm going to write this as, you're going to have a 2 here, like that. We have our 2 there, like that. Then we are going to begin substituting. So meaning we start from j is equals to 1 until we reach j is equals to 3, which is the highest value that we have on our summation there. Okay, so meaning we are going to say f of, if you plug in 1 here, okay, if you plug in 1 where there is j here, because you start with 1, that would be 1 over 4. Then you say plus f of, if you plug in 2, okay, that's going to be like 2 over 4, meaning if you simplify it, that's just going to be 1 over 2, plus the last part, if you plug in 3, that is going to be 3 over 4, like that. And this is what we get. So this we can equate it to, like, let me try to use decimal places, or I just divide. So that's going to be f of 1 divided by 4. 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. Okay, that is 0.25 plus. Okay, just write it again. We say 0.25 plus. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5, so you have 0.5 there, like from this part, f of 0.5. Then 3 divided by 4 is 0.75, 0.75, like that. And that's what we have. So what does this now mean? It simply means we have exactly what we need to be able to continue with this question. So I can try to rewrite it back here. Okay, so this can be like this. I'm going to say this is equals to, what is our h? Our h, we can say our h is 1 over 4. That would be like 1 over 4 divided by 2, of which that's simply 1 over 8. Okay, so we say 1 over 8. Then in the brackets, so f of a, we put f of 0, because that's what our a is, plus. So here now, on this part here, the middle part is basically equals to this. So we just have to expand it. So that's going to be 2 f of 0.25 plus 2 f of 0.5 plus 2 f of 0.75 plus f of b. What is our b? Our b is a 1, so it's f of 1, like that. Okay, so we are almost there. So here, this is going to be 1 over 8. Okay, so what is our f of 0? Our f of 0 is equated to 1, so that's a 1, plus f of 0.25 is equated to alpha. That's what we are given here. F of 0.25 is alpha, so that's going to be 2 alpha here, plus 0.5. F of 0.5 is f of 0.5 is 2.5, as we are given right here. So that's just going to be 2 multiplied by 2.5 plus 2 multiplied by f of 0.75, which is alpha. So that's going to be 2 alpha plus f of 1 is equals to 2. Okay, so this is simply 1 over 8. Okay, 1 over 8. So 1 plus, if you multiply 2.5 times 2, that's 5. So 5 plus 1 plus 2, that's going to be 8, plus 2 alpha plus 2 alpha, that's going to be 4 alpha, like this. Okay, so we have almost everything that we need, or we actually have everything that we need now to come up with the final answer. So remember, we are taught to say when you use the composite trapezoidal rule, when n is equals to 4, we end up with that answer there. So it's more like if you use the most basic computation that you can ever use here. It's more like I say 1 plus x is equals to 2. So meaning you're just saying x is equals to 2 minus 1. So it's like you're already given your answer. You just have to find one of the um, like values that you use in the computation for it to arrive at this answer. So it simply means you are saying 1 over 8 multiplied by 8 plus 4 alpha alpha, this is equals to 1.75. Okay, you do the cross multiplication, you're going to have 8 plus 4 alpha is equals to um, 8 multiplied by 1.75, that is going to give you 14. That's going to give you 14. So we're going to have 4 alpha is equals to 14 minus 8. That's going to be 6. Is it? Yeah, that's that's going to be 6. So you're going to divide both sides by 4 here. So you're going to have that your alpha is equals to 6 divided by 4, which is simply 1.5, and this is our alpha. That's how we come up with it. Okay, so that will be all in this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.